So yes, I have an actual update about what's going on with Anthem Next. Now, it's been a long time since I have covered anything related to this game, but this is definitely fascinating. This is the headline right here. It says, Electronic Arts to decide fate of Anthem game this week. That is, Electronic Arts is going to be looking at what BioWare is doing with Anthem and deciding whether or not to continue with the franchise. So they have a lot riding on this, whatever they've been doing with the recent Anthem Next update, which of course was promised in their October 28th, 2020 blog. You may remember that, seeing all of those fancy smancy images of the game overhauled and what is being promised for the future. Well, they're actually going to be looking at this in detail, Electronic Arts is, and they're going to be saying, you know what? Do we really want to fund this any more than we already have? So this is what we're talking about today. Hey everyone, what's happening? Overworld Games here. Hope you're doing good, and let's dive into this recent investigation from, of course, Bloomberg and Jason Schreier, who goes on to say for the last year and a half, BioWare has been in incubation mode, overhauling the maligned online game Anthem. This week, EA will review the progress of Anthem Next and decide whether to expand the team or put an end to the project. Now, we're going to go into this whole article right now. It was recently posted like only hours ago, so let's take a look-see. It goes on to say this: Electronic Arts will hold a meeting this week to determine whether it will continue trying to create a new version of the failed online game Anthem, according to 3 people familiar with the matter. Anthem, a multiplayer game by EA-owned developer BioWare, launched in February 2019 to poor reviews. In the following months, BioWare put together a small team to overhaul the game. Executive producer Christian Daly wrote 3 blog posts last year outlining some of the biggest changes planned, but in December, Daly left the Anthem team as part of a BioWare management shakeup, leaving the project's fate in question. You guys may remember that shakeup, of course, as right here is the headline. Mass Effect and Dragon Age heads Casey Hudson and Mark Dara have resigned from BioWare. So when that happened, the guy that was working on Anthem Next had to step in and start helping out with the next Dragon Age game. So yeah, let's keep digging into this article. It says, this week, EA executives will review the latest version of Anthem Next and decide whether to expand the team or abandon the project, said the people who asked not to be named, discussing private information. The Anthem Next team includes about 30 people, BioWare said last year. People familiar with the project said it will need to expand at least triple that in order to produce new content and continue attempting to overhaul the game. EA has not yet indicated whether it's willing to commit that kind of budget to revive a maligned game. Now, you gotta remember, this same crap happened with Star Wars Battlefront 2. They tried to breathe life back into the game, and honestly, they did a great job with Star Wars Battlefront 2. They worked their butts off, but they still couldn't pull it off because, in my opinion, the game was so unbalanced in so many different ways when all was said and done. But yeah, it seems like they're trying to do the same thing with Anthem Next. They do not have enough people on this project whatsoever. So it looks like this is BioWare's attempt to say, hey, we need more budget from you, EA. Or EA may say, you know what, we want to put our time and effort elsewhere in the company. We don't want to support Anthem. So it's going to be fascinating to see what happens with Anthem Next going forward. Now, it says this: a spokesperson for EA said the company doesn't comment on rumor and speculation. Also, it says Anthem Next includes major changes to the game's core systems and user interface, the people said. It's not clear if or when these changes will be implemented in the version that's currently available to players. And it says, in the video game industry, second chances aren't unheard of. Games like No Man's Sky and Final Fantasy turned around rocky launches with consistent updates and patches. CD Projekt's recently released role-playing game Cyberpunk 2077 is hoping to follow a similar redemption story. Yeah, we'll see if they can actually pull that off or not with Cyberpunk. You guys know I've been covering that mess as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Anthem. They did do that blog post. It was definitely very promising looking right here, and a lot of you guys had positive reception to my video with what they're actually working on. They showcased like specialists related to each Javelin that you can go and split into 3 different options, as you can see here. Each one of these specialists will, of course, have their own skill tree as well to offer further depth and things like that, which is going to be like, if that actually happens, that would be awesome to see in Anthem Next, no doubt. But yeah, I'll throw this blog post in the description below, as well as my previous video about all the details related to Anthem Next and what they're going to be trying to do. But yeah, this is something that they're going to have to be approving, of course, when it comes to Electronic Arts funding and budget. So that's going to be the matter. You can see how cool the menu looks here. It definitely has that Destiny look to it for sure, and that's what they're going after, I think, is the Destiny audience. Honestly, that's what they've been trying to go after the entire time. But you got to remember, again, things have been a mess at BioWare. We've had 2 departures. Heads of the studio, Casey Hudson and Mark Darrah, have resigned from BioWare. That shakeup really messed up what was going on with Anthem 2.0 for sure. But however, we have this news right here. It says former Anthem studio director Christian Daly promises talented leadership is still in place in spite of his departure. It goes on to say this: as people collectively adapt, digest, and armchair analyze the departure of 2 of BioWare's top executives, there is one rather important piece of the shift that might have slipped notice. The fact that BioWare Austin studio director Christian Daly, the one who was leading the reboot of Anthem, was moved from his position to lead development of the next Dragon Age game. That specific move was written about Daly in an address yesterday, calling the new responsibility humbling and expressing his excitement to learn about the game's community and share development insights as the next Dragon Age game continues to take shape. He even pointed to a new website for the game. What this all doesn't answer, however, is what is happening with the Anthem reboot. A recent tweet from Daly is about all the information we have on that front, which states that the tough decision to take the helm of Dragon Age was made easier because of the talented Anthem leadership and team in place. Whether that leadership will be as transparent as Daly promised remains to be seen. And here's his post here. It says, thank you all. Goes on to say this: thank you all for the enthusiasm you've shared with me about Anthem. Wishing my friends Casey Hudson and BioWare Mark Darrah the very best. Big shoes to fill as I join the Dragon Age team. Tough decision, but made easier because of the talented Anthem leadership and team in place. But we'll see what happens. Again, I've seen this so many times with games that have had rough launches, and they've been developing Anthem Next, though, for a very long time, and I'm curious to see what they have in store for this. Honestly, I cross my fingers that they can actually release this, whatever it is that they're trying to build, because I want to see it. I want to see what they can do with a full potential Anthem that they were trying to get out there. Of course, things happened during development which caused the game to not launch with all of the features or weapons that they wanted in Anthem when it initially launched. But yeah, they also have been kind of teasing stuff throughout the months previously, especially in 2020, related to what's going on with Anthem. If we go to Christian Daly, when he was posting content about Anthem, you could see he was teasing a bunch of stuff related to Anthem Next for sure. You can see here, this artwork looks absolutely stunning. He says, wow, thank you for all the positivity towards the blog. We really appreciate all the notes and feedback. The team is doing some great work and happy to be able to share with everyone. Have a great weekend, friends. Happy Halloween. He shared this post right here. So, I felt like he was super excited about what he was working on with Anthem Next, which does kind of get me hyped, but also I'm extremely guarded with my feelings about this whole situation, because you guys know what happens with a lot of these releases. And then, of course, as he announces that he is going to be working on Dragon Age, everything flips over to Dragon Age on his Twitter. So you could see that difference right there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let me know if you're excited at all for, Anthem Next. If you would dive back into Anthem, try it again, if the loot system was better, if everything was streamlined, and, they actually listened and put in features that the community wants. But yeah, I made a video previously about this. Let's take a look at your top comments related to Anthem Next 2.0. Let's take a look right here. So this was about the Javelin builds and new gameplay changes coming to Anthem Next 2.0. And let's see what you guys had to say. Nate says this: is Anthem trying to pull a No Man's Sky? That would be interesting. That would be really cool. for sure. The Wooden Mask says, this better be free for everyone that has already bought the game. I was so disappointed after pre-ordering the Legion of Dawn edition. Nikolai says, I love the concept of the game. I'm glad they decided to revamp it instead of just throw it away. So it seems like a lot of you guys are actually really curious about whatever it is they're working on. Satellite Server says, if it's not free, I'm not giving it a second chance. So he's putting his foot down. Nick says, I've been cautiously interested in Anthem 2.0 as I was burned on the initial release. If they try to change anything from those that already owned Anthem, then I'm out. Sorry. Yeah, so I think a lot of you guys are wanting a free update as basically an apology for the rough launch that was Anthem. Will that happen? I don't know. We'll see. You know, if that does happen, if anything's free, honestly, they would have some sort of monetization practice in place, at least eventually down the road. Perhaps they would do what they did with Star Wars Battlefront 2 and release this game for free entirely, perhaps on Epic Game Store. When they did that with Star Wars Battlefront 2, the audience size absolutely jumped big time, and the actual Reddit community on Star Wars Battlefront 2 became the fastest growing gaming community on all of Reddit. I kid you not. And this was years and years after Star Wars Battlefront 2 launch. So yeah, perhaps they can actually pull off some sort of miracle with Anthem. And if they do actually pull that off, you know, it's a sign that they could potentially fix games. Hopefully they don't get into this pattern though of being like, hey, you know, we can just fix these games no matter what, and just have rough launches. Who cares? Hopefully they don't do that. But yeah, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Again, let me know what you make of Anthem Next. Do you want to see Anthem Next? Are you even interested? Sound off. But take care. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.